Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Treyarch have shown us this image. It tells us that at San Diego Comic-Con on July 9th, we'll be getting the world premiere, the world reveal for Black Ops 3's Zombies mode. They've talked about it in a very brief paragraph that I brought up in a video yesterday, but this video is going to be more focused on some predictions of things that I think are quite likely to be seen at the event. Now, I want to make it clear, they haven't done this before, ever, and while the sort of zombie audience has grown at Comic-Con over the years with shows like The Walking Dead and things like that, you still have a bit of a disparity there between Comic-Con and Call of Duty. They don't necessarily go hand in hand, but I think that we could be getting two different things. These are my predictions. If you have any predictions, leave them in the comment section down below, and while you're doing it, like the video. Let's get into it. The first suggestion that I'm going to make involves some images that Treyarch have actually given us in the last couple of weeks that until now might have gone unnoticed. One of them is this monkey bomb. Yes, this is the classic monkey bomb from Call of Duty, except you'll notice that it isn't in the game. This is a real-life monkey bomb. It's a replica of what we're used to seeing in the game. You can even see the 935 logo on its hat. Very nice seeing that there. But the question is, why are Treyarch showing us this? They have to surely have a reason to actually post this image to their social channels and propagate it across the interwebs, or do they? Well, until now, like I said, we haven't really thought much of it. There's also this image. This is another thing that Treyarch have tweeted out and they've put it on their Facebook, stuff like that. Their Instagram, for example, also has this image on it, and it's, again, something that is familiar to us. It looks like a zombie, except this particular zombie looks like a real zombie, or at least what Treyarch might think a real zombie would look like. What I'm getting at here is that these images that we are seeing are very much real-life replicas of stuff we're used to in-game, and so I think, and a lot of other people, you guys included as well, think it's quite likely that we may end up seeing some kind of live-action trailer. That's right, live action. That means with real actors actually doing all the stuff that they're doing. There'll be some CGI in there as well, no doubt, but real people acting it rather than it being entirely CGI at Comic-Con this year. The question then would be, what would this mean for the characters that we know are probably going to make an appearance at some point in Black Ops 3 Zombies? That's Richtofen, Nikolai, Takeo, Dempsey, probably Samantha, probably Maxis. I think that a live-action trailer isn't necessarily going to show those four characters. And yes, I know we're getting new characters, or at least we seem to be. Video in the top right if you want to click that and have a watch and get up to date with the info there. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't think we're necessarily going to see the characters we are familiar with, saying characters a lot here, elsewhere in the trailer. I think that the new cast would be the focus, but that's just a hunch. We have seen in the past things like Call of Duty Zombie Labs, which incidentally, this has just popped into my head, they actually brought the shirt back for some unknown reason a couple of months back. That was a really weird change of direction with branding and stuff like that, and at the time it was really odd, and now it actually makes sense to some extent. Because the Call of Duty Zombie Labs, for those of you that weren't in the community at that time, hadn't heard of Call of Duty Zombies, I don't blame you. The Call of Duty Zombie Labs videos, I guess, were a little strange. Quite a lot strange, actually. But they were live-action zombies videos, okay? And I think that in those, they tried to stray away from having it be a kind of story cutscene in the same way that you might have a cutscene in Black Ops 2 Zombies with Misty, Martin, Rossman, and Samuel talking about the Rift and things like that. That is very much storyline information that they're packing in there with the characters in-game. But I don't think that they're going to be as likely to do that type of thing with a live action video. I think that it's just unlikely in my opinion. And so for that reason, I don't think, and again, this is just a hunch, feel free to disagree with me down in the comments, that we're likely to see people like Samantha and like Richtofen, Dempsey, that lot in this live action trailer. What I think is going to happen instead is we're going to get our first look at the kind of thematic setting of Black Ops 3 Zombies in Chicago. Now, I have other videos on my channel explaining why I think the map is going to be set in Chicago. It's quite an obvious thing. It's an image that we've seen. Whether it is actually that city or another one, I do think it's going to be a city setting, at least in one of the maps. If we get more than one, then Well, that remains to be seen, but so far it seems like we are at least getting one map in a city setting that could well be Chicago, and so I think that it would be perfect for them to do some scene setting and do some world building during this live action reveal. Now, it's possible, completely possible, that they completely flip the table, I just said completely like 3 times in a row, oh well, and decide, hey, instead, we're gonna kind of, I guess, show people how we're moving from Black Ops 2 to 3 with the story, so they might begin to build some bridges that the community will no doubt expand upon in the coming months that will allow us to kind of decide where the story goes, because so much of the story is community written, essentially, that I don't think Treyarch are going to be giving us loads of answers in this reveal. It's going to be posing a lot of questions, but also answering the question of maybe where the setting is going to be and what direction they're going to be taking things in. I would love to hear people like Richtofen. I would love that. I don't necessarily want to see him. I'd rather they kept him in the dark, actually, personally, and I can talk about that in another video. But I think hearing him, whether it's in distress or whether he's laughing about something he's doing, just whatever. I just want to hear Nolan North chirping out a few Richtofen lines, man. That would be so damn good. So that is my first prediction. I think that that is a reasonably likely one, that we'll be seeing a live action trailer of some sort, or a live action thing, a live action showing, some kind of live action performance, or whatever it actually ends up being. I think that that is going to be happening during Comic-Con. That said, they have confirmed that we'll be seeing the actual world premiere, and I don't think the premiere itself, that first proper trailer, is going to be live action. I just can't see it happening. I feel like too many people would be disappointed, and Treyarch know better than that, surely. So I think that we'll be definitely seeing some gameplay in a trailer, embedded alongside probably, like I was saying, some world building and things like that. But I also think that because of the fact that they have shown us these weird little things that Treyarch have been doing in real life, it would make sense for them to do something else as well. Maybe, or maybe not. Feel free to disagree. The other thing, which I don't really have any evidence for, and I think I'm going to talk about in another video at some length, is wouldn't it be cool, okay, if they announced, and this is just an idea that I've had in my head actually for months, wouldn't it be so awesome if what they did is they said, okay, zombie fans, we recognize that you guys have been hardcore from the very beginning, and we want to thank you for it. And so in the Prestige edition of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, we are going to give you a comic book that is essentially a summarization and recap of the story so far. Wouldn't that be so damn cool? It's Comic-Con. They've not been at Comic-Con before. It makes no sense for them to be there. If they want to show us a live-action trailer, they can just pop it up on their YouTube channel. They don't need to be at Comic-Con to do that. What if they actually have a literal comic that they're going to show us some of at Comic-Con? Wouldn't that just blow your mind? It would blow my mind, because it's something that I've wanted for so long. I've wanted some actual literature about the Call of Duty Zombies story that I can sink my teeth into and have as an 100% official source, because the entire story at this point is just full of conjecture and facts that have been kind of sewed together, and it's a mess. It is a big, fat, nonsense-making, nonsensical mess. And having something like this would make it so good for people who are new to the mode, people that know nothing about who Richtofen is, let alone what Nikolai's first name is. That's a joke, by the way. That sort of information is alien to some people, especially alien to people that haven't even played a COD before, and Black Ops 3 might be their first one. And so if they really want to go crazy in this game and give us this campaign that they've kind of weirdly hinted at, and this unique experience with an XP-based progression system and all sorts of crazy surprises in store, then this, in my opinion, would be an extremely good lead-in. I have been MrRoflWaffles. If you think this is a good idea, then that like button is the place for you to click, and I'll see you hopefully very soon in another Black Ops 3 video. Bye-bye.